Welcome everybody to my Americans that watch this. Happy 4th of July weekend. It is a time for celebration, but at the same time, we're not able to celebrate. So I don't know what else to say. Sal, how you doing?
I got a burp. So if you hear me go mute for a second, you guys know why.
So Sal has been contaminated with gas. But yeah, if you do hear loud booms, I am not under attack. America is not under attack. It's just people testing out fireworks, or in
or
another
or
sense,
Mario's gas.
or yeah, or people wasting their fireworks so they have less for tomorrow. But you hear it throughout the whole week, throughout the whole year. Here, people just light off like it's no big deal. But yeah, so we're gonna bring you some pretty entertaining football matches that we had from Tuesday to today. We had some games. Premier
Mhm.
League did not play today. Did Serie A play today?
No,
No. Okay, so
they are
Serie A
off till
did play.
tomorrow.
We did have, I believe, a La Liga game, one, maybe a couple. I'm not sure. I do know Atletico played, which is bonkers because they just played the other day. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So what are the scores that we had in the Premier League since we last left off?
Premier League, of course, the big game was the Liverpool and Manchester City game. Let's just let's just get that out of the way. Liverpool lost 0-4. Manchester City kind of wiping the floor with them for some reason. I mean, the first 15 minutes, Liverpool did look pretty good, and then I
They
guess
did.
the hungover feeling. I don't know what they're feeling at that time. Maybe they were still popping champagne bottles before the game. Who knows? But Liverpool just couldn't keep up, and the boy Phil Foden, who is looking like one of the next stars of tomorrow, scoring and assisting. Kevin De Bruyne again scoring and assisting, looking like he's gonna break Thierry Henry's assist record at this point. Who else scored? Raheem Sterling scored one, and I'm missing the fourth goal scorer. Who
I can't
scored?
remember.
I can't remember either.
Let's just look it up really quick.
Yeah.
It is Alex. Oh, on goal. That's right.
Oh, Chamberlain. That's right. Huh. All right. Yeah. So Liverpool, Liverpool feeling it. I don't think this is what this is only the second loss in the Premier League. Whoop de fucking do. Ooh.
But my main question is though, you're a professional football player. How long do you really celebrate a championship knowing that you still got more games? It's not like I know it's basically the end of the season for you because you won the title, but in all actuality, you didn't finish the season. So do you just turn off, or is it really the excuse that they've been celebrating all week?
Well, I mean, they can't really turn off. They don't have what? They're out of FA Cup at this point already, right? They're out of
Yeah, they're out of
Champions League. Yeah,
yeah.
they're out of everything. So why not go for the maximum points at this point? Set records in the Premier League. Who knows? Maybe they if they called it in and they mailed it in, it just shows disrespect to every other team. And if they were partying all day, then I mean, you can tell City just wanted to show a message to them at this point, telling them, "Hey, if we're still in this next year, we're coming for you guys, and we're probably gonna sign Koulibaly and someone else in order to shore up our defense."
Yeah, but it is disrespectful, but at the same time, like I don't know, like you won you won the title last week. It's been over a week. How much celebrating can you really do? And in quarantine, in restrictions, or COVID restrictions due to the league mandates and all that stuff. Like I don't know. He Klopp and Liverpool got out coached pretty much, got outplayed. Um, and to the fact of the Phil Foden issue, I did say we would have to see a better showing, like when he played Chelsea. Well, he didn't show up or he didn't play. I didn't watch that game, so I can't really say too much. But in this game, he does score. And yeah, okay, you can say Liverpool weren't playing 100%, Doesn't matter what percent you're playing. They're the league. They're the league winners. They won by a crazy margin, and he showed up and he banged the goal in. You can't take the goal away, and you can't knock it any which way. So Phil Foden, yes, he is up and coming. Will he stay at this rate or form, whatever you want to call it? Still to be unknown or still to be known. But yeah, congratulations to Man City. That's all I gotta say because you
You're
should.
gonna get relegated, motherfuckers.
Well, that's another topic. I brought it
Yeah.
up on Twitter. Young Leg asked me as well, like, well, brought up the point, like, did they just, get a pat on the hand and pay some fine and they call it a day? Because if that's the case, then every other team that breaks the rules, when it comes down to PSG's front door, they're also just going to give oil money and continue to play. I find that extremely unfair because what if you're a small team and you happen to break some little other minor rule that we don't know about exists? They can't pay their way out, so they just they get to see the actual punishment that the big teams don't. So Manchester City's acting like they know that they're gonna stay because Pep before the game's talking about competing for Champions League next year and that they still wanted to come out and show, or they still want to come out and show that next year it's not going to be as easy. So what is it that we don't know that they know, and we haven't when we found out yet if everything's said and done?
Yeah, I think PSG already took some kind of financial hit. I would have to go look back, but if I remember right, they took some kind of financial hit for all this financial fair play. But if Pep's words are prophetic as they are, and they somehow pave their way out of any kind of punishment, that just goes to show you FIFA is more corrupt than we know, and that Saudi oil money really speaks volumes now at this point.
Yeah, because we already knew UEFA was corrupt with Sepp Blatter and who was the French guy again?
I don't even
He was
remember.
I think.
I don't remember, man.
The defender that played for France, but I think
Oh,
team or
fuck.
something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They were all corrupt. They got thrown out of FIFA, I believe, and maybe somebody else has picked up where they left off. If we're gonna continue to see Man City do what they do, but anyways, enough of Man City. Yeah, 4-0. Congratulations, good showing. Um, Good three own goals, or yeah, own goals by Man City. I guess you could say like they scored it. Um, so what is the next score line that we get to talk about? Or
It was so it was Tuesday's game. It was Justin's game. Man United 3, Brighton 0. So we don't have the man himself here today to hype his team. So
yeah,
we'll give him a little love. Yeah. So it's one from Greenwood and two from Fernandez. That Fernandez and Pogba midfield looking great. So we'll see what the future brings. If Sancho does come in for Man United, then look out.
especially with that midfield. Bruno Fernandez personally deserves Player of the Month. From I would vote for him if I were given a vote. Um, but yeah, he's totally changed up that team. It's super good in attack now, um, and they have a decent defense. They gotta either hope De Gea recovers or look for a good backup at this point. I would have to say, even though they didn't get scored on by Brian, but just in the retrospect of being good next season and contending and giving Liverpool and Manchester City a good fight, that's a issue they have to look forward. They have to like look into. Other than that, Greenwood great, Fernandez amazing, Pogba looks like he's going to stay. Sounds like he's going to stay. Rashford healthy. Martial scoring. Like you really can't complain.
Nope.
And Ole is looking amazing.
I mean, my question is whether they recall Jordan Henderson from Sheffield United. That's the thing that really is. Because if they get him back from Sheffield, then we saw what he can do at Sheffield. Yeah, he's got a little mistakes in him, but probably better improvement than De Gea at this point in time now. So
Yeah.
they bring him in. You sell De Gea, but who's going to buy De Gea? Really?
Just keep him.
Yeah.
That's all you really can do.
So we'll move on. Everton and Leicester. Everton beating Leicester 2-1. Ancelotti making magic at Everton right now at this point, and Leicester sliding down the table, and the table is looking very interesting from 3-6 right now at this point in time, and we'll get to that eventually. West Ham, the beautiful West Ham, which Mario is wearing the wonderful away kit, beats Chelsea with their new shirts, their beautiful new shirt. If you have not seen that nice 3 sponsor on there, they were beaten 3-2. So Chelsea, how much did you get beat by? 3. What does your shirt say? 3. Every time you get beat by 3, we're gonna be saying 3. Every time you win by 3, we're gonna be saying 3. So guess what, guys? You guys are now a meme. Thank you.
Goodness
Thank
gracious.
you.
But yeah, shout out to the boy Moyes. I never lost hope. I never lose hope. The man, come on, man. I don't. There's not much to say. It's just Moyes, good old Moyes. Even though it's the team that scored, but whatever, you know what I'm saying. I just gotta get praise to my guy.
I mean, on the Chelsea side, Pulisic looking like a damn star for them at this point. I mean, you look at having Timo come in and then Ziyech come in as well. You have a great 3 in the front. I think the only thing they're missing is defense, and where are they going to get that defense from with all the money now that they spent up front?
Sell William. They're getting rid of Pedro, I believe. Pedro's already said he's done. Rudiger is solid. Yes, can make mistakes. Christensen, like I said before, not consistent. So just find a good pairing for Rudiger, or just put Aspilicueta in there. He did great when he played at center back. Yes, he's a little not on the tall side. You can overcome that if he's done it before. Just look at his defensive skills, non-aerial. It's pretty decent. You should have another right back that's available. That's also good. And I think you're fine. Yeah, you might want to look for a backup on that right, or because you don't want to just be switching as Peliqueta, center back, right back, and all that. But there's ways to finagle, and if you finagle correctly, then Chelsea. I'm telling you, that top 4 next year is going to be super interesting. Lampard is a great coach. We could say that now. Yes, he lost to Moyes. Okay, but he did beat Pep Guardiola. He's doing work. He didn't beat Klopp, I don't believe, both times. He has lost to Ali 3 times already. But other than that, he's proven himself in the Champions League. He's proven himself this year because he's still in contention. So Lampard has done a great job with what he was given to start the year or the season with. So
Yep. I'll move on. Newcastle 4, Bournemouth 1. Great for Newcastle. Uh, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my Arsenal. 4-0 against Norwich. Aubameyang, fastest Arsenal goal scorer to 50. 2 wonderful goals. One a mistake from forget Norwich's goalkeeper. What's his name?
is it Tim Krul?
Yeah, there you go. Tim Krul. Tim Krul just I don't know what he was thinking when he gifted that first goal to Aubameyang. It was just he should have kicked that ball, but he just I brain fart at that point, and yeah. Then
I used to have the saying for Tim Krul, like Tim Krul keeping it cool. It doesn't no longer sit well. It didn't age well, and yeah, we'll move on. Continue.
yeah, so Danny Ceballos looking like a great midfielder now at this point, so that's a positive. Whether he stays or goes, we'll find out at the end of this long season, but I'm hoping he does stay. I'm hoping he does. Moving on, Sheffield United 3, Spurs 1. Uh, what do you have to say for Jose Mourinho at this point? Has he lost his touch, Mario?
It looks like it, but at the same time, he came in mid-season on a team that was already struggling. But even having Kane back, there's like Kane's been missing chances. He also doesn't get the chances to do what Kane does. Um, the defense is very bad, which is not typical of a Jose Mourinho team. He says Lo Celso is better than Bruno Fernandez.
No, 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 no. He says he would trade Lo Celso for Fernandez.
Oh, okay, so that's what it was
That
saying.
that was what it was saying. Yeah, that he would give up Lo Celso any day for Bruno. I think
Okay,
that's the kind
yeah,
of a
it's pretty smart because Lo Celso was great at Real Betis. I haven't seen the same Lo Celso this season. I expected a lot better, and he's just not there. Great Argentinian player. And they got to get rid of people like Lamela. Lamela doesn't work anymore. Lamela, he could be a bench player, come off the bench, but he's not like, someone that I would give starting, days here and there.
yeah.
Um, Son, he has the firepower. I just don't think his tactics are working for a team that probably already gave up before Pochettino was even gone. So I would like to see what moves, what is it, Daniel Levy makes during whatever kind of transfer window they're given. So Mourinho looks lost, yes. I just don't think he's done. I blame it more on the players' mindset, maybe.
Yep. So that wraps up the Premier League. Games to look forward to tomorrow that have implications: Leicester and Crystal Palace, Man United, Bournemouth, Wolves, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Watford. So any of those teams within Leicester, United, Wolves, and Chelsea, any loss basically sees either dropping of top four, climbing closer to top four. So really watch that. That's the race everybody should be watching if you're watching the Premier League. And we'll move on. We will go to Serie A, which the title race is still at four. So Juve still has that nice 4 point cushioning over Lazio. Lazio got a 2-1 victory over Torino on Tuesday. Lazio, they turned it on late, and that could probably be their downfall.
Okay.
So whether and that's the thing I'm from watching Lazio these past few weeks since the restart. They're great at scoring, and they'll get the score line they want, but in the usually in the first 45, it's like they're just passing the ball and seeing what works for them, which is really what you can't do that with Juve now somehow picking up steam. And if you want Juve to drop points, they probably won't do so. And so the games that are going to matter now for Lazio are going to be the game they play against. Do they play Roma again? I'm trying to remember.
Who play Roma again?
Does Lazio play Roma again? I don't think so.
I mean, they
Because
don't
Lazio,
cover this
no,
week.
yeah.
I don't think they
So
do.
Lazio and Juve play on 7/20,
Yeah.
and that's going to be an important game because if they keep the pace that they're keeping, then it becomes a 1 point race. So it really will come down to who's going to drop one game. So they have to go perfect all the way at this point, in my opinion. So I'm still keeping that Lazio wins the league, but it's looking slimmer and slimmer as Juve keeps rolling on.
Yeah, Ronaldo looking like Ronaldo. He doesn't seem to be slowing down at any rate, whether it be a penalty or that beautiful long range shot out from outside the box. Um, he's still the same guy, and I'm sure he has the title in his mind, and that's what's gonna keep him roaring on. To be honest.
And Dybala as well, picking up steam. Another shot from in the box. It was in the box, right? Yeah, it was in the box, but it was a
Yeah,
beautiful.
I think in the last 2 or 3 games they both scored a goal in each of
Yeah.
those. So
So like I said, they're gonna keep rolling, and if they've picked up steam now, then watch out. And going into Champions League, I know they're playing in Lisbon, so how much would it mean for Ronaldo to pick up Champions League in Portugal? I mean, that would probably cap off, not cap off, but it'd be a great check on the career for him to say I won the Champions League in my home country. So we'll
Well,
put that. Yeah. Tomorrow
he's already done it.
has he?
Yeah, we won in the Benfica Stadium against Atletico Madrid.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The Ramos one, right? Yes.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
hey, 2 times better than one. So
That's true. Moving on. Inter wiping the floor with Brescia 6-0. Brescia's relegated, so what can you say about it? I mean, Inter just Inter looked great. So for Mario, Verona 3, Parma 2. Parma have their ups and downs,
they
and I
do.
can't. I want to see them do well. I do, and they're a fun team to watch. But just these dumb little mistakes in the back that cost them, and it's just Jesus Christ. Come on, guys, pick it
Yeah,
up, pick it up.
it's not the Parma of old where you had Cannavaro and Crespo and Buffon and but Turam and all them. Like Parma was a team, if you do not know, that had great talent. They're just who's a team that gets always picked off of, I don't know, Arsenal.
Uh,
Say?
Ajax, Ajax, yeah,
Arsenal.
Ajax.
They're those kind of teams where they have great players, and then at some point they just get plucked out, and then those teams, well, except for Arsenal. Arsenal's kind of up and downish, but like Ajax, we didn't hear for a while, like in Champions League, but look at them now making noise. Parma, it's been a long time, but they got plucked out, and they just cruise. They don't do good. They don't do bad. They just average out.
Um, moving on, Atalanta 2, Napoli 0. Atalanta just keeps scoring. What can we say? I mean, fun to watch. It's the first half. I don't think they had it, but second half they just turned it on, and it's what that team does. If watch out Champions League, whoever they face, one-off games. If they are on a scoring spree at that point, then maybe a final. So who knows?
Yeah,
Uh,
I saw it on Twitter. Some randoms that, like, I don't even follow them, but it popped up on my timeline. Some guy was like, "Oh, imagine Atalanta winning the Champions League." And I was like, you see, it's picking up steam. Like people
yeah.
are coming to the senses that it is possible for Atalanta at the rate that they score to actually have a great chance at doing big things, and it would be awesome. I would love to see it.
No, yeah, it would. I mean, it'd be another Porto winning the title. It'd be who else was unexpected? I think
True. I don't, it might have been like ages ago, if anything.
yeah. So the last one that we can probably think of is Porto with Mourinho. So at that, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be special at that point. Sad to say, but I think Roma's top four chances have gone down the toilet. Udinese beating them 2-0, and I don't know what coach was thinking not putting Dzeko into that game. He was sitting on the bench the whole time, and just why? Your goal scorer is on the bench. He's just there watching. You have hopes of somehow breaking into a top four, but now, good luck, guys.
Yeah, I remember you bringing that up a couple weeks ago, or maybe like a week ago. I was keeping tabs on it, and since then, it's been looking not likely at all anymore.
Yeah, they let me down. Those guys let me down. Fuck you, Roma. Shit, you're on my fuck list now. Um, moving on to tomorrow, Juve plays Torino. Torino, I mean, I think at this point, any team that plays Juve is going to play like Brazil, so or some kind of big name team. So we'll see how Torino fares against them. The game that has implications is Lazio and Milan. If they end up drawing, or Milan somehow ends up winning, then Lazio start kissing your title hopes goodbye at that point.
But it really is an interesting game because, yeah, like you said, Lazio can't take a tie or a loss, but Milan won the game before last convincingly. Then they tied against who's the S-Paul team again? What are they called?
Small, just small.
Okay, so they tied against them. So Lazio really, like you said, they turn it on late, and if they do that against Milan, who knows? Ribic might do some damage, and it might not help their title hopes.
Yeah, now that they have Zlatan back sitting on the bench, I mean, you bring on the Super Swede and he just starts creating chances for Milan. So, and they want a European spot as well. So,
And they're contending for one too, right?
yeah, they're contending with that loss that Napoli had against Atalanta. It kind of opened the door wide for Milan to say, "Hi guys, top six, we're here. We
Yeah,
can." So they are right at the cusp.
because it's been a while since we seen AC Milan in any type of European play. So
Yeah,
I'm sure they're ready for it. They're ready to start climbing back into that to that
yeah.
atmosphere.
And then news out of Italy today: Daniele De Rossi taking over Fiorentina as manager next year. So we'll see how he does.
Yeah, that's kind of upsetting. Not the fact that he played for like Roma or anything, but I wanted to see him play more in South America than just that.
Yeah.
What was it, like one season? I believe
Not even a season. I think it was like
half a season.
three quarters of a season, maybe at least. Yeah,
That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. At least it was cool that he even thought about going down to Argentina because who does that really?
exactly. I mean, he bypassed MLS, which to me was a good choice for him.
Yeah, good luck to him though.
Yeah.
So that's Italia,
Yes. So let's
and
move on now. We're flying through this.
yeah, I was gonna say I looked at the time. I'm like, no freaking way! Like this is intense. So yeah, we move on. We fly to the beautiful or I was going to say continent. Wow, country of España. We're on the same continent, people. I apologize. But yes, so La Liga had some interesting games, some interesting turn of events. And yes, we only did have one game today, so I was right. We left off on Monday. So Tuesday, we had Mallorca relegation team. If you do remember, because I bring it up all the time, Mallorca beats Celta de Vigo 5-1. Yes, I said it 5-1. That is crazy. But Mallorca, struggling as they are, they do have talent. They don't get to showcase it a lot, but this game, they did just that. And Celta de Vigo, where did you go? Because you won convincingly before that. Then you tied against Barca, and Mallorca outplays you drastically. I don't understand it, but it is what it is. Next game we had Leganes and Sevilla. Leganes bottom dwelling as well. The cucumber growers are struggling, and they continue to struggle. They lose 3-0 to Sevilla. And then we had the game everybody was waiting for, especially me as a Real Madrid fan. Barcelona versus Atletico de Madrid. Dumb penalties on both sides for both teams. Would you really consider them a penalty? Very, very, very soft. But the ref did give them. So the score ends up 2-2. Messi does score his 700 goal. People go crazy. It's a Panenka. He's the only greatest Panenka scorer, and the tabloids go crazy. Okay, whatever. Other than that, there's not much out of the game. Oh, well, yeah, there is a little bit. We'll get to it after.
Yeah.
Hot topic, Antoine Griezmann. And then on Wednesday, we had Deportivo Alaves and Granada. Granada gets the win 2-0. After that, we had Valencia and Athletic Club. Valencia continues to struggle or be hot and cold. Well, more cold than hot, I guess. Athletic Club 2-0 against Valencia. Valladolid and Levante, boring game. Two goose eggs. Not much to say about that. Real Betis continues to struggle. Villarreal continues to impress. They
What
get.
happened to Betis, man?
Uh, I
Exactly.
don't know. It's also like the losses of like players like Lo Celso. I believe Carvalho has his mind already out the door. I believe he's going to the Premier League possibly. It could be things like that. And then goalkeeping. Their goalkeeper was average, and now he's letting goals flying left, right. So and their attacking presence really isn't there. They do have like I forget the old dude's name. I can't think of Joaquin. I think Joaquin or something like that.
Joaquin.
Yeah, he's like 36, pressing 37. Like
God
continue,
damn.
they continue to give him a contract. I get it, club legend or club favorite or whatnot, fan favorite. You're not gonna produce what you should be, or you're not gonna hit the goals that you're aiming for, continuing to keep those players around as much as of a euphoric, nostalgic thing that it is for you or whatnot. So yeah, Real Betis. I don't see them being relegated, but they're definitely not having a great time from this return to suspension. Real Sociedad against the bottom dwelling team or the bottom dweller, which is Espanyol. Espanyol again goes down 2-1. Espanyol, see you later. Thank you for playing, but try to come back next year or next season. Ibar loses to Asasuna. So all these teams close to relegation, Ibar, Celta get beat. Osasuna kind of makes their move away from those two teams with that 2-0 win. So big clap for Osasuna there. Real Madrid and Getafe, big game. Will we get the win? Will we go 4 points up? Yes, we did. We beat them 1-0 in a very boring, tough game. Getafe, very well coached. Players like Cucurella that stood out to me. Once he got out the game, things changed for them. Madrid were able to go down Cucurella's side a little bit easier since he wasn't there pressuring Danny Carvajal as he was before he got subbed out. I thought he was a great player when he went from, I think he was on loan at Levante, or it was Levante or Eibar. They have the same colors. I believe it's Levante. I'm going to go Levante. I thought he was a great player then, and I was looking for him earlier in the season at Levante. Turned out he was here at Getafe, and he's been one of the main reasons as why Getafe has such a good team full of quality as well. Um, but Ramos, the savior, as always, scores a beautiful penalty that was given to Carvajal in the box, of course, because of the penalty. But the way that it was all orchestrated, it all worked out. It was tough, and I did fall asleep in the last 5 minutes of the game because it was, like I said, a little bit boring. Vinicius didn't have a good day. Isco, aka the new Fat Samurai. Uh,
Yeah, what happened? What was he doing the whole game? He kind of like disappeared the whole game. I was like, he's playing?
it's just he's not ready. I don't think he's not ready. He looks like he's overweight. His touch is not great. His passing was he was just making passes for just to pass. I don't know. He looked lost completely. Vinicius had a bad game, but Vinicius has done well this season, so I'm not gonna hate on him for one bad game. Every player has them. Um, but Rodrigo and Asensio came on, changed the game, made big difference. So proud about that. Modric, good game. Fede Valverde, I love the boy. Great game. Casemiro, amazing. Varane did get a knock, but they they thought it was gonna be they thought it was a concussion at first, but turned out he's all right. But yes, it has a lingering effect. It's not the best
Yeah.
to get hit in the head. But yeah, Madrid, big deal, 4 points ahead. At the beginning, when we first started this, I did say we were going to win the league by 2 points, but we might win it by more. I'll take it. Um, I'm right either way. We win the league. And then today we had Atletico de Madrid versus Mallorca, and Mallorca failed to capitalize on their beautiful 5-1 win against Celta Vigo. But then again, Atletico de Madrid is a good team, top three in the league. And Kubo had a great game. It's just upsetting that he plays at Mallorca and he really doesn't get too much help, but he does stand out. So that's always good news. And then tomorrow and Sunday, we have tomorrow Celta Vigo, Real Betis, Valladolid against Deportivo Alaves, Granada versus Valencia. On Sunday, we have Atleti Club versus Real Madrid. So can we go 7 points up for the time being? That'll be great. And then we have Espanyol versus the Cucumber Growers Leganes. And then Osasuna, Getafe, Villarreal versus Barca, which is a good game. Barca should be worried against the Yellow Submarines. And then we have Levante, Real Sociedad. I'm hearing like a frog outside my window. It's kind of, I just thought I'd bring that up really quick. Sevilla versus Ibar. And that, oh, actually, I went into Monday. So excuse me. But yeah, well, I'll stop there.
So let me bring this up since Barcelona is playing Villarreal. Griezmann, does he start or is he set on the bench again after the comments that Setien made over these past 2 days?
I'm going to say, excuse me on that one if you heard it. I'm going to say Griezmann does start. There's been a tabloid little one liner that his team has spoken to Barca about him not getting playing time, and that if that doesn't change, well, something's got to happen. So if Barca takes that seriously and runs it down to Kike Setien, then Kike Setien has something to think about because that's the type of player you don't want to lose. Yes, he hasn't been great all season. Ramos has more goals than him in this season. Um, but you're not giving him time. So if you don't give him any minutes, how is he supposed to score? And the last draw against Atletico de Madrid, he came out with the stoppage time that was left, which was, I believe, 4 minutes. So what is it? He can do something, but what are the odds of something actually happening?
Yeah.
You know, and Diego Simeone made a joke like we've lost in the last few minutes, and meaning the Champions League game against Real Madrid. But how many times did that really happen? That was a miracle. That's why us Real Madrid's fans celebrated so much because it was an amazing moment. That's something that will be remembered forever. But Griezmann isn't going to do that every time he's thrown on for 4 minutes left in the game. So, and then in other Barca news, Messi stops negotiation talks for his extended contract. So is that just like a little petty move by him to get more money, or is he really pissed off with the board?
Messi to MLS confirmed, people. He's coming to MLS now. You're right. Like he's gonna come to MLS. My ass. He's gonna come to MLS. I don't know. To be fair to him, I don't think he wants to stay. Looking at that train wreck of a team now. So where do you go? I mean, is there a manager out there that can deal with every personality in that locker room, give each player the time that they want? That's the big question. And I think every Barcelona fan wants Xavi to come in and basically do the Pep Guardiola all over again. But I don't think Xavi has it in him to basically run that locker room correctly.
I feel like Xavi at the end of the day will have favorites.
Yeah.
There's players that he played with for a good amount of years, had great success with in that locker room, and then there's other players that he doesn't really know at all, and that he would have to, convince and get to know as well at the same time. Not everybody is a Lampard. Not everybody is a Zidane. Look at Gattuso, struggling. Stevie G, he's in the Scottish Premier League. He's done great, but it's the Scottish Premier League. I'm not trying to hit, low blow or anything. Lampard started at the top, at
Yeah.
a great league.
Yeah.
So there's a difference of comparison there. Um, Messi, just looking around, Messi's getting up in age, but he still has it. Jordi Alba's getting up in age. Sergio Busquets, I believe, passes prime.
Yeah.
He knows the Barca way, so that's why he plays.
Yeah.
Honestly, PK, a good defender, but
He
that's
lost his touch already.
yeah, and Lenglet can hold it down. Find Lenglet a good partner. You got Smedo, good player. Sergio Roberto can play in his place as well sometimes. Sergio Roberto can play in the center in the center mid role. You got that Ricky Puig or
Yeah,
whatever.
Puig.
Yeah, he looks like something. You have Rakitic. People hate on Rakitic, but Rakitic is a great player. But you continue to play Sergio Busquets or whatever, and you get rid of Arthur. That is for money laundering reasons, but he had to take the blow. He had to take the hit to get moved, and then you bring in Yannick, which is getting up in age, and you give a younger player of the same
Yeah.
caliber away. I don't know. The moves they make are retarded. Excuse me for using that word, but it is, and they're getting up in age. Luis Suarez. I don't know how long his antics are gonna last much longer in La Liga. Griezmann should be the top of that trident, put in the position he plays, and find another left winger or
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and solidify more the midfield and that one defender role because Ter Stegen is still good. He's a great goalie.
I mean, if I were the Barcelona board, and I know the board is kind of bends over to Messi at all times for some reason, but if I was the board, I would have sold Suarez in the beginning of the year when he still had a value to him. I would have sold him to some team somewhere. Use that money, buy yourself someone to go on the left. Put Griezmann, like you said, at top of the trident. Let him be Griezmann. Let him wander the field like he does for France, and you wouldn't be having these problems. And then, as far as the back is concerned, it's not like they don't have a youth academy that does produce players. So it's just looking into your youth academy and saying, okay, who's ready to come up or who's out on loan that's doing well. Get rid of the older pieces that still make money. But for some reason, the board just wants to bend over and say, Messi and friends, come on in.
Yeah, because I did forget Ansu Fati. Ansu Fati is a good player, a up and coming good player. And they also had Carlos Alenia, which is playing at Real Betis on loan. You're giving up, like you said, look into your academy, but that's one thing they haven't done in a while. They haven't looked into the academy. They also let go of a lot of academy players, and then they try to get them back. And then look at the fact that it doesn't always work out because Kubo was their academy player, went off, and when he came back to La Liga, but he came to Real Madrid, and for $0, euros, pounds, whatever, zero, just zero. So the board has to, I guess, restructure itself, or Barca is really looking at some problematic times, like 3 to 5 years down the line.
So there's a tweet I saw, and someone said, and I'm paraphrasing. I don't know the exact. I don't remember the exact words, but will Barcelona do what happened? Well, what happened to AC Milan happened to Barcelona. So we saw AC Milan really just they would go up and up and up and up, and then all of a sudden, like that, one day overnight, they just fell from grace, and they lost players. They lost a lot of great players, and that's what happened. But also, I think it was selling the club to whatever Chinese investor that was, bad money decisions, yada yada yada. Does Barcelona see that? Is that Barcelona? I should be saying.
It could be, it most definitely can be, because the star player or stars that they had were Maldini, Nesta, Kaká, Pirlo. They had talent everywhere. When Barcelona loses its main talent, what are they if they haven't really found good, backups to or players to take over? They're gonna
Yeah,
be AC Milan of La Liga, possibly, yeah. And that's
and I
crazy.
mean, yeah,
That's crazy to
yeah,
think of, but their moves that they're making and the lack of effort that they're showing is basically pointing in that direction.
because I look at La Liga and Sevilla wants it a lot. Athletic Bilbao wants it a lot now as well. You're always going to have Simeone up there with Atleti, just the way they play. Real Madrid is going to be there all the time. So you're looking at a top four that really has changed within the past couple of years. It's not so. If you lose Messi, what are you at that point? And that's what Barcelona relies on just the Messi. And it would be sad to see them fall to grace like AC Milan, but that's just the way the football world goes at now.
Yeah, yeah, because you have many teams. Look at the top six right now, or the top eight. All those teams can contend. As soon as Barcelona drops from grace or whatever the saying is or whatever, they can step right up. Valencia's won the league before. You know, many other teams have won the league before. It's been a while. Yeah, Barcelona has had most of its dominance, but those teams can easily contend if they continue to make the right moves, which they have been, and Barcelona does the opposite.
And it would make it a much more interesting league to watch at that point because then you have teams that actually do want it more than anything.
Yeah. And you've been seeing the little small clubs, well, not small, but average to good clubs actually compete in the Champions League and Europa League. This season you had Espanyol, Getafe. Like I since I've been watching La Liga, I don't remember those clubs being in there. Villarreal can come back. Villarreal's been in the Champions League before. Athletic Club, they can make a comeback. You know, it's and it'd be great to see. The Clásico will take a hit, but as a whole, the league would just look very entertaining, and it is what it is.
Yep.
But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed because
We got through this quick.
really fast. We done really fast today. I hope we covered everything that you probably had questions on or that you're interested in. Always remember to like and subscribe. It helps us grow. As of late, since we've been actually producing a little bit more on a more timely fashion, we have seen a little tick in the increase of support, and it's very appreciated. So if you can continue to support in little small ways, it is lovely. But as we always say, we'll continue to bring you more content. We'll be back soon. There is a lot coming out of the MLS is back. I'm right now. I'm gonna hope to catch the rest of the America versus I believe Toluca.
Toluca, yes.
Yeah, Toluca, which is a great game. It's a preseason game for the Liga MX. Maybe me and Sal can dive a little bit into that sometime near the future. Um, so yeah, just remember to follow us at Twitter and Instagram. You see me right here at FieldTalk _ Benzi, at Sal Talk Soccer, and good old Just that's not here at FieldTalk Just _ And if you want to hit us at the pod, it is at FieldTalk Pod, right?
Yep, at FieldTalk Pod.
I always forget because I haven't seen it in a while. Well, I haven't touched it in a while, but yeah. So yeah, you can follow us there. I know I'm not as enthusiastic as good old Just, but you know I do my best. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good 4th of July weekend for all my American followers, and for the rest of the world. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Pop some fireworks.
Yes, blow some fireworks, blow up some fireworks, and we'll see you guys on the next one. So take care. Peace out.
Bye bye.
You get to enjoy my love things.